Guys, and welcome to Tiny Table War Games. Now, I do apologise for the day late of the video. My daughter decided she wanted to kind of stay up last night. So obviously I'm just recording this now on a Wednesday. I'll be uploading it in the next sort of half an hour. I don't do much editing. I'm still waiting on my microphone to arrive. My tripod turned up. My daughter kind of destroyed it. So there we go. She kind of pulled it apart, so I'm just waiting on my next one. So tonight we have the review of the Dark Elves by Pendraken. Now, another thing I will say is it's the facial moulding that obviously is suffering with the models. Some of them are still pretty good. Some of them kind of look pretty blank-faced. I think it's just a case of slightly older moulds, and obviously at the scale, I mean, as you can see now, you can't really notice it and you can't really see anything else from a distance. However, I think they do look pretty cool when they're ranked up and they're all ready to go. Now, what I have here is the basic army of what you get in their £30 box. So when you buy their £30 box, you get a unit of warriors, you get a unit of crossbowmen, you get a unit of witches, you get your command, you get your wizards, and you get your raptor riders, which I think are quite cool. I mean, I think quite all the models are quite cool. Yet again, I mean, there's not a massive range for Dark Elves, so they don't have anything like artillery-wise. They don't have any ranged units as such other than the crossbowmen. They don't have any, like, so the only sort of like cavalry they've got is the raptor riders. Obviously, they can be supported by monsters, by like giant spiders, by the scorpions, things like that Pendraken do sell. Obviously, they've got the enhancements of the elementals, but I think it's quite cool. Now we've got the same situation as we've got with the skeletons, where I think with the age of the mould, some of the moulds are sort of losing their details, but also with the warriors, we also get a unit of 2. So you get your warriors with swords and shields, and then you get your warriors with spears. So obviously I've separated them into 2 groups. So let's get started first on the general warriors with swords and shields. So not too sure you can catch up on the detail. My camera doesn't seem to be wanting to behave today, unfortunately. Keeps losing focus. Just give me 1 second. So as you can see there, I've just managed to do a little bit of camera trickery and whatnot, and so we can get a nice good look on their faces, although the focus seems to be blurring out a little bit. So yeah, like as you can see, the one in the centre, the one on the left, the 2 on the back. However, the 2 on the right, as you can quite see, his face looks quite deformed and there's sort of no detail there at all. It just looks like a black canvas, but as you can tell based on if you can get distance, you know, it kind of gets sort of, you kind of don't see it. So obviously now we've got our spearmen. Yet again, we've kind of got the similar issue, so some of them are detailed, some of them are missing details, some of the details have deformed. I, however, personally think that more of the units should be helmeted. Just for this particular reason, you could hide a lot with the helmet, especially at such a small scale. I'm not too sure if I'm doing anything with the shields, but they're the spearmen. So obviously in a standard pack you will get 25 of each. Well, you'll get 25 warriors. That's usually a mixture of each. So next up we have the crossbowmen, which I think are quite cool. For some reason my camera today just doesn't seem to want to autofocus very well. It's kind of rubbish. I honestly do not understand what is actually going on. There we go. So yeah, as you can see yet again with some of the moulds, you know, the faces are looking pretty worse for wear. But I mean, 10mm, long distance, it's fine. And the rest of the details are pretty solid. Oh, I've got some gold to cover up there. But the rest of the details are pretty solid. I've just got a few minor details to put on the crossbows, like the bolts, things like that. But from the distance, I don't really think I'm going to bother with it that much. One of the next smaller units is obviously the witches. So yeah, I mean, the details on the witches are pretty okay. They're bearing a lot of breast. You know, they're dark elves, what do you expect? Now, that's concerned me quite a bit, and I've only just noticed it. This section here on her arm, if you can get a decent look. So it appears to almost be separated from her shoulder. So like there's quite a lot of material missing. Either that or that could just be hair. But either way, shoulder does look quite low down. I do have details to do like the belt lines, and fill in a couple of the leg sections. But from the distance, I mean, I'm happy with them. They plan on getting ranked up, so they're not really going to be looking from a distance. So yeah, I'm more than happy with these. These I haven't started painting yet, but these are the Raptor Riders. I mean, these have some fantastic details. I do find the spear on this fellow right here, his spear seems a little weak. It does bend quite often, as you can see with the paint that's come off, that it's bent a few times. But the details on the Raptors are fantastic, and you know, they're really good quality sculpts. I think they just need updating more than anything, and I'm thinking now with the technology we've possibly got, it could be time to start moving things towards sort of hard plastics, especially at this scale. I mean, there's probably arguments you've got against hard plastics. There's one of the commanders. You know, and I mean, like this list of army points was, when I calculated, it was round about 1,200. 1,200. It was just short of 2,000. So there's the priestess. So as you can see, I've done her in like a golden outfit, because obviously she's a high priestess, and you know, why not? So overall, my experience with the Pendraken Dark Elf Fantasy, the Dark Elf line, they're really good. They're really good quality sculpt. I think it's just a time now of like sort of possibly remaking the molds. I know it can't be cheap, and I know it can take quite a while to do. But I can imagine they've still got the original masters. In which case, you know, I think it's something that's definitely worth doing. As for what you get in the box, I mean, I couldn't argue. It's a fantastic deal. Obviously, you have got expandability in regards to the whites, in regards to the elementals, things like that. I'm really sorry, guys, about this. For some reason, my camera just doesn't seem to want to autofocus tonight, which is an absolute nightmare. But yeah, I'm wondering if it's anything to do with the brightness of the materials, but yeah. So as you can see there, with these guys, see, all of these have really good facial details, which I think is fantastic. But I still prefer the helmets, mainly due to the fact that it looks like a regimented army, which you would kind of expect from the Dark Elves. And yet again, as you can see here, going back to what I mentioned last week on the skeletons, the height of the bases is quite prominent. You know, like you can see his foot just about there. Oh, it's gone again. You know what, the wonderful days of technology. You can just about see their golden feet, and you can just about see how high they are up. So obviously you've got to hide a fair bit of that with the flock. But I mean, they do look cool. You know, the ground cover was made with a bit of PVA glue, a bit of sand. And then they were left pretty much like that. So PVA glue, bit of sand, bit of brown paint, and then gone over. So I do obviously plan on expanding this army a little bit further, just to give the nice sized rank and file look. This obviously is a superior, points wise, this is superior to the Undead army in the Kings of War rules. However, I will be trying out the Pendraken Warband rules and the Horde of Things rules. I'm currently working on a 2 foot by 3 foot wargaming table, which will be fantastic once it's all set up and ready to go. I'll be able to set up a few battle reports with my son and possibly friends and family if they get interested. But yeah, like I said, guys, I do apologise for this being a day late. I'm going to start recording on a Monday and Wednesday, and then uploading on the Tuesday and Thursday, just to try and keep a consistent upload time and things like that. Rather than rambling on, I've finally managed to keep this one kind of short and sweet, just over 11 minutes. But I hope to catch you guys on Thursday when I've got the review of the Horde of Things version 2.1. Going to give that a good read through, and then I will compare it side by side to the likes of the Pendraken rule set, which yet again is another fantastic rule set, and I think it's something I'm going to enjoy learning with both armies. I'm still waiting on my stuff. I'm still waiting from my armies from Alternative Armies. They should be here in the next couple of days, which will be even better because it gives me another army to sort of get painted and get finished. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Remember, keep it tiny, keep it on the table, and peace out.